Do another milepost of the V-Twin Life. We talk motorcycles powered by those V-Twins, why we enjoy it, what they mean to us, and just why we enjoy the open road. V-Twin Life is brought to you by crashinclothing.com, also known as Crash Inc. on the World Wide Web. Man, Brad has sold a lot of stuff. You want to get some merchandise, you want to get parts, you want to upgrade stuff on your bike. He is a dealer for a lot of great companies, so check out crashinclothing.com and see what they got for you. Now, we got Wild Ass. You want to add some comfort to your ass? Man, Wild Ass has got you covered. They've got something you like. Use that promo code DWoods. Get yourself free shipping and put that ass in comfort. Can't forget Custom Dynamics, leading the world in LED lighting and LED technology. Man, these got some great stuff. You want to light up your life at nighttime? You want to be seen during the day? Hey, check out Custom Dynamics. Can't forget Lexan. These guys got some great comm units. I just got the new G16s. Man, you want to talk quality? These things are awesome. Loudspeakers, plus they got some air pumps, small ones you keep in your bike. They're ready to go. So check out Lexan. So now, let's get to another milepost of the V-Twin Life. Hey, what's happening, everybody, and welcome back to another milepost. Tonight, we are hitting milepost 136 with Brian Ridgeway, who's kind of got given that new nickname, Flat Brian. If you've been following the Hoka, hey, you've probably seen some little pictures of Flat Brian's been seeing some great countryside throughout this great country and north through Canada, and it's been pretty cool. So reached out to Brian. It's like, hey, I'd love to hear some stories and hear how about the whole Flat Brian came about. And so we're gonna dive into this. So hey, welcome to the V-Twin Life, Brian. Thanks for coming and hanging out.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Heck yeah. So we'll start this like I always do, man. How'd you find motorcycles? Where did they come into life for you?
Motorcycles have been in my life always. My dad, my uncle ride. I've been around them my whole life. My mom, I mean, everybody rides.
That's cool. So did you start young, like with dirt bikes, and progress up through it, or?
Yeah. I started riding around. I was about 8 when I got on my cousin's dirt bike, and then my dad bought me my own when I was 10. So.
Kind of got you hooked from there.
Oh yeah. Definitely caught the bug then and haven't stopped since.
Right. I understand that. How'd you get to the, going to the road? When did you start riding on the road?
I started riding on the road officially around 19. I mean, I rode off and on, but I didn't have my own bike to myself till I was 19. And then, I mean, that was, as long as there wasn't salt on the road, I was riding.
What was your first street bike?
My first street bike was V65 Magna.
My first was the Honda Sabre, the V45. Okay.
Yeah, the smaller little brother of that bike.
I always wanted the V65 Sabre. I would still love to find one someday. I love the styling, and God, they were quick.
Quick, required little to no maintenance.
Yeah, reliable. Those V4s were impressive. Man, when they come to life at about 5,000 RPM.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. So we got Springer Mike, Salty Badger, and Brian. Guys, thanks for coming and hanging out. And I also got to give a big shout out to Lexan. Michael wrong way, excuse me. Riding the Hoka. Hey, of course, those guys had to go through a hurricane, and somehow some moisture had got in and it killed his Lexan. He got a hold of me, and I reached out to Anthony at Lexan, told him, what was going on. And he immediately drop shipped one to the second checkpoint for a wrong way and replaced the comm, no questions asked. Said, hey, how can I get them hooked up? How can we get them a new one? So I want to give, a big shout out to Lexan for standing behind their product and doing that and helping the guys out. Just shows what a great company it is. So I want to give Lexan some props on that, because I was impressed. Great company to work with. So now we get back to regular programming. So how did what kind of sparked you for getting into wanting to do long distance riding and pushing stuff? How'd you get turned into that?
That came about in about 2004. I was working with this guy. His name was Pete. And it was a Saturday. We just got off of work, and my wife and the kids were out of town. He's like, hey, you want to go for a ride? And I was like, yeah, sure. Why not? And I was like, well, I don't know where are we going, how many, what bars are we hitting, this and that. And he's like, no, man, we're going for a ride. And we rode from Milwaukee out to La Crosse, Then we rode up to Superior and back home all on Saturday.
How far, roughly is that?
We did I'd say probably roughly like 700 miles.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, we were cruising. We didn't really, the only thing we stopped for was gas. But I mean, it was like we're just cruising, having a good day. And after that, I was like, all right, like this is it. This is what I want to do. When I say go all riding, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah. I find it funny. You talk to other people. I mean, I think long distance is different to everybody when it comes to wanting, pushing the miles, laying down the miles. And even I've noticed that, with people I've got to meet, like you're not even enjoying the ride. I don't get it. Why would you do that? If you're not seeing nothing. It's like, no, dude, you got it totally wrong. I'm seeing a lot of stuff. I'm having fun, but some people don't, it's just not their cup of tea. And I totally get it. Everybody has their own style, but it's funny how so many people that I've, myself came across and just think that we're not even having fun.
Oh yeah. I get that a lot too. Like, oh, you do all these miles, but you never see anything. And I'm like, I stop and see everything.
Yeah.
I'll cruise out, 2,000 miles on a weekend. I'll take more pictures than I do if I'm on vacation. And, with the wife and kids stopping and seeing stuff and visiting, landmarks and whatnot with them.
Yeah. That's one thing I got to work on. I'm horrible about not taking enough pictures and whatnot. That's one thing I've been pounding myself to, besides seeing it by myself, but, have the pictures and you get the little memories to look back on it, the stuff that, you do see when you're out enjoying the country.
Oh yeah. I'd say even like the last Hoka. Hey, I mean, I took probably almost 3,000 pictures.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
A lot of them were moving, but still got pictures. Still seeing it.
So as a 22, was that your first running?
Yeah, that was my first run in the Hoka. Hey.
So how'd you come into it? And, what really piqued your interest for wanting to attempt the challenge?
Well, I found out about it before the first running in 2010. And I've been kind of just following along. And I was going to run in 16. And then divorce and custody battle and all that got in the way of putting my hat in the ring. And finally, in 22, I was able to jump in finally and give it a go.
What'd you think of it when your first?
Oh, I loved every second of it. I knew what I was getting myself into from the beginning, and I just couldn't have been happier with it.
It's definitely something. I've got to meet so many people that have done it and read and heard so many stories, and a lot of people, the mental and physical challenge. But a lot of people say, you find yourself just because of the solitude and really figure things out as you're riding.
Oh yeah. Yeah. If you're not prepared for it, the mental aspect of it, it'll take you out. You just got to be able to make wrong turns, realize your mistake and move on. Because if you sit there and dwell on them wrong turns, you're going to quit. I mean, you'll start doubting yourself more than you really should.
Yeah, I think that would be the challenging part. For me, I've, followed it for years, and it's just the reading the navigation and, the turn-by-turn directions, I think, is going to be, in my eyes, one of the biggest challenges.
Oh, that worked out pretty well for me. I mean, I drove truck, and I started driving truck before there was GPS. So, and I'd get worse directions than that from customers out in the boonies, like, hey, turn by this big tree.
Yeah, I guess, when you kind of grow up accustomed to stuff, it makes it a little bit more of a easier challenge of navigation.
Oh, yeah.
But no, it is pretty impressive. Where'd you end up finishing in 22?
I finished in 10 days. I was the 23rd person across the line.
Funny thing, I bet we probably walked right by each other because I was over in Rapid City for the send-off for that year.
Oh, were you? Oh, okay.
I spent the whole day at the dealership with my bike getting fixed because the brand new charging system I put in it failed when I got to Sturgis. So I had to bite the bullet and have my bike in the shop and pay a second time to have it done. But I mean, I do a lot of the wrenching myself. So I was, my first and only time, knock on wood, having to have it in the shop. And yeah, it was there all day long.
Yeah, it's never fun when you're on the road and the bike's got to go in.
No, especially like on a Saturday, they're not open Sunday and you got to leave for, 1,200 miles to get back home on Monday. It's like, this is awesome.
Oh, yeah. That's always are they going to get it done or am I going to be sitting here till Tuesday?
Yeah, and that was it. Are they going to get it done? I see the guy going on a test ride. It comes back into the shop. Half hour later, another test ride comes back. I'm like, oh, this ain't fucking good. But now they got it fixed, so that was good.
Well, that's good.
So what are you riding right now?
Right now? Well,
Yeah.
before my wreck, I had a 19 road glide. I mean, I still have my 95 wide glide that's in the garage. So I officially actually gave it to my kid, but I never signed the title over. So until I buy another bike, I told him I'm riding it because he's stationed at 29 pounds and can't have his bike out there anyways.
Oh, shoot. Well, you can tell him thank you for his service.
Oh, yeah. I'll let him know.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that. So let's get into, how did Flat Brian come around? I mean, I kind of know the story, but you can, let the people following along and watch and get the story.
3 weeks ago, I was in the trauma ward in Sanford, out in Fargo, North Dakota, talking to Shell on the phone. And I was rather upset that the doctors told me that, hey, you can't go on this, can't do the Hoka hay in 2 weeks. You're not going to be able to do anything for the next few months. Even though you look perfectly fine, your insides are not. And the wife brought up, well, hey, just, make a Flat Brian and have Shell take that with and take some pictures along the route. And so when I came home, I made 10 Flat Brians to give out to people. So I've been getting pictures from, I think, 5 of them so far, which I told them, I was like, as long as you send me one along the route, that's all I care about,
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. I've been seeing some of those tagged with the pictures of Flat Brian around, and like we were talking before we went live, it just shows the support and the community, the family of how everything goes, and people are still taking you along in spirit. You're still there, and sending their love. I think it's really cool.
Oh yeah, it's very awesome that they're on this time crunch of the Hoka hay, and they're still stopping and taking pictures, and including Flat Brian.
Sending the love, man. Letting them know that you're still there, even though you're not there.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you got kind of a gnarly wreck. I mean, that was pretty brutal.
Oh yeah, yeah. UTV pulled out on the highway. I mean, the kid was pulling up. He was almost at a dead stop, and he gunned the throttle and drove right out on the highway. I had no time to react. Doing 60 miles an hour, slammed right into the side of him.
Yeah, because you had some pretty serious internal damage.
Yeah. I had a ruptured spleen, ruptured kidney. All the bones in my shoulder, on my left shoulder, are bruised. I got a couple bruised ribs, and I had some pretty gnarly road rash.
Yeah, dang.
But I'm able to walk. I'm able to talk. I'm still here.
And that's the important part. It's like when friends have gotten a little accident. Like Jason Setzer, or friend Bradley Thomas, riding the Hoka this year with their accidents, and send them a text, talk to them on the phone. It's like, what, bikes can be replaced, but us as humans and whatnot, we can't be. And it sucks, but it's glad that you're still here. I mean, you missed your bike. People don't want to go down, but there's always another bike, and there's not another you.
Oh yeah, there's always another bike. There's always another Hoka hay.
Always another adventure.
Always. But Setzer, I mean, that dude's an animal. I can't believe he's still out there riding.
Man, yeah, that's no kidding. And Gopher.
Yeah, Gopher too.
Yeah, I was reading Gopher's post. Even though he slept, in the hospital, they've already told him he can't be a finisher because he slept in the hospital. I'm like, I get it from the rules aspect, but it's like, I don't know. I think they're at catch 22. Guy gets in a wreck, gets put in the hospital, and still makes his way out, and to get back in, and But I guess that's part of them. They just want to finish in spirit, and which is awesome. Still make the run, come back from what they're doing. It's like, holy cow. But yeah, Jason, I mean, with his hand in a brace and damn.
Hand in a brace. I heard he had a broken collarbone.
Yeah, he said his right collarbone's broken. They think he has nerve damage in his left hand because he can't well, when he left to get back on the road, he was having problems, moving his hand and whatnot. But he said, fuck it, I'm going to finish. It's like, Jesus.
That's grit right there. I mean, I get it. I mean, wanting to do the Hoka, hey, I was down in Daytona for the start. And I mean, I almost went to the hospital, had them do a CT scan, said, so they could check out my inside, see how healed I was, and was going to buy a bike. And I thought, nah, if I do this, the wife's going to kill me right now.
Yeah. You better wait and finish mending a little bit for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got a whole nother month. I got a whole nother month before they check me and release me. I mean, I'm on a 10-pound weight restriction for another month yet.
Yeah, I could understand why. Yeah, those accidents, as we get older, we don't heal as fast as we used to.
No, we definitely don't. Definitely don't bounce like we used to either.
But then comes into also nowadays, with the gear, a lot of people, some people don't like to wear it, but you know what? It definitely helps and can help protect people for sure.
Oh yeah, I know this much. If I didn't have my helmet on, I wouldn't be talking to you.
Yeah.
That the trooper brought my helmet back to the hospital for me, and yeah, it was a little messed up.
I'm sure it was.
I say a little, but I mean, I pretty much ground down. I had the built-in cardo on it, and it was ground down to almost nothing.
Oh Jesus!
So my head hit the highway a little hard.
Hey, it did its job. That's the important part.
It did, because I didn't even. You would have told me I hit my head on the highway that hard, I wouldn't have believed it.
Yeah. Well, think of the speed of the impact. I'm sure you've went a little ways down the highway.
Oh, yeah, I paced it out because I went to the scene after they released me from the hospital. I tumbled about 150 yards.
Jesus. You're lucky that you didn't get hurt. It's worse.
Oh man, I dodged a stop sign and like a giant foot statue.
Holy crap. Yeah, that could have been brutal if you found that stop sign.
Yeah, that stop sign would have that would have hurt. That stopped my bike from chasing me, actually.
Oh, did it?
It did, yeah. Yeah, it hit the stop sign and it bounced off to the back towards the road, and I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, that's a lot of weight and momentum going down the road next to you.
Oh yeah.
Or come back in contact with you. That would be nasty.
Yeah, I'll tumbling. All I could see is like those GP moto crashes where the bike's chasing the guy down the track, and I was like, oh man, I better gain some speed here. That thing's gonna run me over.
This is what it feels like to be on the other side of this. Yeah, you see some of those, man. It's crazy how, but just goes to show the protective gear you can get, how much it does help and save a person. You watch some of those MotoGP guys, it's like, how in the hell they walk away?
Yeah, they just get up like, hey, go grab another bike out of the pit and get back on the track.
Yeah, just laid it down 150. I'm fine. We're good. It's insane. So what's one of your favorite travels that that really sticks to you, enjoy riding when it comes to getting somewhere?
Favorite travels, like places to go, or
yeah, when say a favorite route that you really just enjoy going and riding.
I really love riding around northern Wisconsin, Upper Peninsula, Michigan, just zigzagging across all the highways up there.
The UP.
Yep.
Yeah, I follow some of the comedians from that area. What was it? Charlie Burns. That dude's comical.
Yeah, dude, he's from Wisconsin. Is
he?
Oh yeah. I've been following him for years, since he was on. Oh man, he used to him and his little Volkswagen Rabbit.
He's freaking comical. That is for sure. So when you get healed and getting mended, you got anything Eyes on, you're going to go with another road glide again down the future, you think, or you're still just
I'm
kind of hemming and hawing?
I'm hemming and hawing. I'm on the fence on whether I'm going to buy another Harley or if I'm going to make the switch to Team Indian.
Yeah. Those pursuits are sharp.
Yep. Yeah, it's between another road glide, a pursuit, or a Challenger. I haven't made my mind up yet.
Yeah, a couple
I've
years ago,
ridden them all. I've ridden them all. I love them all.
I test rode a brand new Challenger when they came out with them. It was impressive.
Oh yeah, they're zippy.
Yeah. That they are. Comfortable, too. The only thing I didn't like myself was the controls, like for the blinkers, because you had, they're on, well, I don't know if they changed it. I haven't ridden a new one, but, the right blinkers on the right side, left's on the left control. And just some things when you get so used to it being, kind of, and I don't think they were self-canceling.
No, they weren't I remember because I test rode one when they came out. And yeah, they told me the only reason I didn't buy a Challenger back then was they had to put me on a list to wait for one. So I was like, I'm looking at buying a bike now, not in next year.
Yeah. I think that was really the only thing I didn't like was just the blinkers. I mean, the comfort and, man, they get up and go. And I don't know if the one, that I test rode had just, been well used for test rides, but the transmission had seemed noisy on it. But I think that was a 21 when they first came out, or been out maybe a year. But I liked everything else about it, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're nice bikes. I mean, from everybody I know that has them, they haven't had a lot of breakdowns. They haven't, besides change the oil and just give her and go.
Which is, down the road, I mean, that's basically what everybody wants. You want, trouble free, just do your services and do that, required maintenance and enjoy the ride.
Yep.
It is fun. So what's your best memory from your first Hoka Hay? What was the best thing that really stood out to you?
Oh, I'd say that would have to be like night number 7, 6, 7. I don't know. We were in Shell and I were riding together. We were in California. And we decided we were going to sleep at a Goodwill underneath their awning because we seen a bunch of lightning and kind of looked like it was going to start storming. And this homeless guy came out and laid down in front of us and started playing with himself.
Oh, Jesus. Oh.
So we left there. We went to the highway. We found a California Highway Patrol building. Thought we'd camp there, and they told us we had to leave, or they'd cite us for vagrancy, and told us if we wanted to sleep in their town, a lot of people sleep at the Goodwill. And I was like, hey, listen, man, I'm not going back to the Goodwill.
Ryder a dick just saw something she didn't want to see.
She has a video of it with a lot of ad-lib commentary. It's pretty funny.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, that night was, I mean, we left from there. We went and found another spot, and like a pack of wild dogs come chasing a rabbit down the street we were on. And then we seen some guy like in the shadows about a couple 100 yards away, just smoking a cigarette, watching us. So we got on, we rode about another 100 miles and slept out at some, I don't know, looked like an abandoned building in the middle of nowhere on the side of a mountain.
Yeah, I guess the fun of trying to find a place to crash, get a few Z's.
Yeah, I'd say that's my favorite memory from that, because that whole night lives rent free in my head.
I can only imagine. And just the comments from Shell, I can already picture it in my head, just with her sense of humor, and holy crap. I'm definitely going to have to ask her about that one.
Oh, yeah, ask her about it. It's good. I mean, I did tell her, I mean, I was like, hey, we were kind of in his living room. I mean, that's his spot. I mean, we were kind of at his house. He was just doing his nightly routine.
Dear Lord. Yeah, some things are just best not being seen, but
yeah.
As to the adventure and the stories and the memories, like I said, you'll have that forever. So you're going to sign up for it in 26 and go again?
I plan to. I still got to have that discussion with the wife.
Yeah.
The only reason she was on board with 24 was the finish line in Alaska, so she could go up to Alaska as well.
I've been to Juneau. I've never been anywhere mean, landed at a plane in Ketchikan, but spent a little bit of time in Juneau. But that's all I've ever seen of Alaska.
Well, I'll see it. I'll see it on Tuesday. I'm flying up for the finish line.
Oh, are you? That's awesome.
Yeah, I got approval from the doctor to fly up, and figured the wife already had all her stuff booked, so might as well go up and see the finish line.
Yeah, might as well make a little vacation of it and see it and go hang out with all the everybody else and the extended family.
Oh yeah.
You go up there and you get a picture with Flat Brian.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm planning on doing. Finding somebody's bound to cross the finish line with a Flat Brian still intact. I know a couple people lost them already.
Oh shoot.
I'd say Julie Siri Raindrop, she told me Flat Brian's been hiding in her saddlebag since the hurricane. He's scared to come out.
I lost a brand new pair of gloves. Well, actually one glove doing was my Monster 100 day. Take glove off, go to, turn on my GPS as I'm coming into Portland to make sure I get the right turn, and reach up to put my glove on. The wind caught it. And I'm like, fuck, they were brand new.
Oh man, that's the worst, especially when they're brand new.
Yeah, they lasted, one trip. Then I think the other one, the biggest one, was I lost a backrest going to Sturgis last year.
Oh man.
Me and the wife are riding. We're going over there. She's like, hey, can we take the backrest out? She goes, a little more room. I'm like, sure. And we were picking up a little motorcycle trailer to tow behind in Montana from Springer Mike. So we had, a tea bag on the back on the tour pack and plus my Kimimoto tour pack bag. And we'd wedged the backrest down between them. But the tea bag kept kind of shifting side to side, and my wife's kind of hitting it with elbows, squaring it up. And all of a sudden some car comes up next to us and giving us all these hand signals. I'm like, roll down your window, man. It's like, I don't know what the fuck you're trying to say. He's like, you fucking lost something.
Oh,
in my head, I'm like, oh shit. Pulled over and get off, and sure shit, that backrest worked its way up, and it exited at about 90 miles an hour down I-90 somewhere after Missoula.
Oof.
So I can't go look for it. I'm like, fuck no, that thing's gone.
It's gone.
We'll get another one. And I still haven't ordered it, but I should one of these days.
Say the only gear I lost in the last few years is I was cruising down 44 in Missouri, and I had a side wind hit me. I don't know if it was a tornado or what, but it somehow flexed my whole bike and my tour pack popped open. I didn't notice for like a mile. It sucked everything out of my tour pack. And I was like, I spent probably an hour and a half riding up and down the side of the road looking for all my shit. And I lost all my heated gear. And yeah, got down to the taco run and then woke up next morning. It was 30 degrees. And the warmest I had from Oklahoma back to Wisconsin was like 36 degrees.
Oh, Jesus.
So I was cruising gas station to gas station and then go in, warm up for about 30, 40 minutes, jump on the road, freeze my ass off, go to the next gas station, warm up.
Go next gas station, find another sweatshirt and start layering.
Oh, I was layered. It was my hands that were just done.
Yeah, see, that's one thing for me. Cold feet or cold hands will ruin anything. That's one of the things I just can't stand that really gets me.
Yeah, cold hands, that'll get me anytime.
Have you gone to hand guards? I know some people use them, say it really helps cut some of the wind off, but I mean, I have some, but I got to get different bars to mount them on, and I haven't tried.
I've had hand guards for years now.
Do they help much with cutting the wind?
They do, slightly.
Yeah.
The one thing I should probably go back to is heated grips, but every time I put them on a bike, they don't last too long. They usually, burn out, short circuit, something, It's like, since I went to heated gloves and everything, no sense in putting another thing on the bike just to have it go wrong.
Yeah, I can see that. It's like you talk about your tour pack popping open. My son first got his first bike as Yamaha. He went for a couple 100-mile ride and didn't know it was really warm out. So he took the liner out of his jacket that he just bought and didn't know his saddlebag popped open. Same thing. He lost his liner, lost his registration, and all kinds of stuff somewhere down the side of the highway.
Yeah, them saddlebags, you don't close them just right. They'll hit a wrong bump. They'll pop right open.
Yeah, I know I was doing a run. It was Bradley Thomas. A bunch of us last year for the Monsters Over Mountains, we pulled into a fuel station up by Flathead Lake, getting fuel at like 11 o'clock at night. And I look down, I'm like, fuck, my highway peg's gone. And he's like, son of a bitch. He goes, that's what went by my head about 10 miles ago. He goes, something bounced off the road. He goes, well, right by my helmet. I'm like, oh shit. I guess I got to get another one.
Whoops.
Yeah. Came right off. And I put another one on it. That thing popped off somewhere. And I mean, I tightened the hell out of it, and somehow the screw backed off, and I still got the mount and everything, but the peg itself
worked its way out, eh?
Yep, and it's gone. I'm like, son of a bitch. Ain't having good luck with them.
Man.
Oh, that vibration.
Yeah. It's a Harley. Red Loctite saves everything.
Exactly. That's what's happening next time. I don't care how tight I get. It's going to get some Loctite just to make sure.
Everything gets red Loctite.
I did that new little, I put some extra lights on for at night, and with they had the little switch for them, which mounts my controls, but the little tiny little Allen head screws are like, fuck, there's like 4 or 5 threads. I'm like, fuck, I could see these coming off. So yeah, Loctite. Fuckers better stay there. I lose those. Those are going to be so hard. There's no way I can find replacements. They're so freaking tiny. So hopefully they stay.
Yeah, hopefully.
That's a plan.
All right.
So what are the things you do to outfit your bike for, making it work for you with your, style of riding, what you enjoy?
Well, suspension for one. This year I switched over to Milwaukee's performance suspension.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I got to hand it to him. He has probably the best suspension out there for adjustability. You can change out the spring rate. You got 80 adjustments on the rebound, and you got 6 adjustments on the compression.
What brand was that?
Milwaukee Performance.
I haven't heard of that one.
No, but yeah, I'll give it to him. I mean, I rode Legends for years, Progressive. Yeah, I put that on, and I mean, I beat the hell out of it for the 14,000 miles before I wrecked.
Nice. It's cool, hearing, it's a brand I've never heard of. So, which is, not that I'm, in on everything, but I try to pay attention to stuff. So that's pretty interesting. I have to look into those guys and just check stuff out.
Oh yeah. Check them out. I'd say I did that. I did a bunch of motor work, but some guys, in long distance, you got guys who like to do motor work, and you guys got guys who want to leave everything stock for less issues.
See, I get both, and sometimes I can agree. Little work, you tuner, may throw in a set of cams, a little bit of stuff just to give that little bit more oomph. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. I don't want to go crazy overboard because longevity is nice, but just that little bit of more oomph, on the bottom end and whatnot can be nice at times.
Oh yeah. I did cams. I upgraded the oil pump, cam plate. I changed out the stock compensator because it was starting to chatter. I always have a boatload of auxiliary lights on the front. That way, it's like turning on the sun. So being in Wisconsin, deer come out of nowhere. So
yeah, and I got an education on that riding with Shell last year. We were going up through Montana. It was pretty dark, and she pulls up next to me and hits some Denali's. I'm like, holy crap. I'm running, the Custom Dynamics Pro Beam. I have their fog lights or headlights, but, and I thought they were pretty damn bright. And then she hit those Denali's. It's like I don't even have anything on. I'm like, holy shit, I need more.
Yeah, I'd say I run 2 sets of Denali D7s, and I had a set of Denali D4s on the front.
Holy crap, you definitely going to light it up like daylight.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, it's like I'm taking your x-ray driving down the highway if you're in front of me.
No shit. But, that's the thing, though. At night, man, whether, to see the animals and be able to highlight everything to keep yourself as safe as possible, man, smart.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially if you get out in cattle country, because, those cows, they don't like to get off the highway if they're standing on it. And if you're doing 80, you hit a cow on a bike, that's all she rode.
Man, I came going through Rattlesnake Canyon, come around a corner down by Oregon, somewhere between Washington and Oregon, and I had punctured my rear brake line in Lewiston, so I had no rear brakes. I only had front. Working my way back and come around a corner, we're clipping along highly, and there's a herd of cattle standing on the fucking road. I mean, luckily it was daylight. You can see them, but it's, you instantly go to hit that back brake. I'm like, oh, shit. Start grabbing the front, start dropping gears, and slow down a time, but it's like, damn.
Yeah, that's a full pucker effect right there.
Oh, that's for sure. I think I sucked my wild ass right up inside. Yeah, I think lighting's important. I went with a set of I got the 4.5-inch co-lights that I like. I mean, they don't put out, they're about half of the Denali, but it's impressive. I think, it still lights up great. I can see a lot better. And, at nighttime, I think it's important. I kind of get mine angled off to a little bit to the side to help, show the sides, but definitely makes a difference.
Oh, yeah, it makes a huge difference. Even a little bit of extra light makes a huge difference.
Yeah, because especially stock lighting is garbage. I had a friend that bought a brand new Street Glide ST, and we were on a ride, and I look in the mirror, and I couldn't even tell his headlight was. He pulled up next to me, like, dude, your headlight on? Oh, yeah, these things are great. I'm like, okay. And then he called me the next day. He was riding at night. He's like, that headlight sucks. I'm like, yeah, it does. I saw that from the front. He's like, this is supposed to be LED and all this stuff Harley talks great about. He goes, fucking garbage. I'm like, from my view, it didn't look very impressive whatsoever.
Oh, yeah, Harley stock lights are junk.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I got an older road glide, and the high beam was on for so long, it actually burned out the indicator in the dash. So you don't even know if your high beams are on. Well, I mean, now I can tell with the custom dynamics headlight, it'll light up more. But yeah, the older one, it's like if I ever turned it off high beam, even at night, it's like there was nothing. It's like, God, these suck. And was fortunate enough to work with custom dynamics and got that pro beam adaptive, and man, huge difference from stock.
Well, that's good. I'd say my dyno was the same way. Just if you're riding in the city, you didn't even know your light was on.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. That's for sure. So when do you think you got to wait a few months before, well, what do you got, another month before you can get cleared to finally go do some bike shopping and see what you can ponder upon?
Yeah, about another month. I mean, they're going to check me in a month. That doesn't mean I'm going to be good to go, but
yeah, gotcha.
I'm hopeful I'm going to be good to go, and then I'll be bike shopping. I mean, I'm already bike shopping online, but there's a difference of online and in person.
True. But it is fun.
Oh, it is fun. It gives me something to do all day.
Yeah. I've always had the thought it'd be fun to buy one that's, a couple thousand miles away, find one, buy yourself a one-way ticket, and enjoy a nice ride home.
Well, that's what I've been looking at. Like, all right, who's got the bike I'm looking at, and who's got it for the cheapest price out there? I don't care where I got to go to get it.
Yeah. You got a color in mind you want, or really doesn't matter?
Color really doesn't matter. I mean, all my bikes have always been black, but I may switch that up and actually go with a color this time. Who knows?
Yeah. Nothing wrong with black. Just kidding. That's what I got, the old vivid black, because they're everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere. And nice thing about stealth camping is you pull in somewhere, they're actually harder to spot.
I never thought of that aspect. Or for me, it's like when I boogered a fender, got online. Anybody got a vivid black Harley front fender? And, people always, I got one hanging on the wall, man. You can have it. Sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Don't even got to paint it. Since they made about 1 million of them. It is fun.
It is.
So, well, shoot, man. Thanks for taking time out and coming to hang out and kind of sharing a little bit of the story of how Flat Brian came around.
Yeah, no problem.
It's always a lot of fun, I enjoy doing this, and people take time out, their time, and give up time to come hang out, man. I greatly appreciate it, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a great time.
So, well, enjoy your travels up to Alaska and seeing everybody. Hope everything goes well, and you get on the mend, you get a new bike, we'll have to come back on and share some stories of where it goes.
Yeah, sounds good.
Right on, man. Well, thank you very much for your night. So
Oh, you're welcome.
next week we got Milepost 137 with Austin Teal from ADHD Cycles down in Oregon. He's going to be coming and hanging out. So until next Sunday, guys, ride safe, have fun, enjoy the open road, and we'll catch you guys in the crossroads.